Hello lovelies, and welcome to today's tutorial. I'm Alya and I'm so glad that you came by to watch this tutorial. I am going to be playing with a giant scarf, a scarf that I've seen quite a bit of around, and I'm really excited to bring it to all of you. So I hope you can stick around and see what we're going to do today, including this look. I just wanted to start by showing you this amazing giant square shawl. I've seen them all around the internet and I've seen a few people wearing them lately, so I thought I would do a little bit of a tutorial about how to use one of these gorgeous, huge, wonderful things. Just beautiful, massive scarf, big square. So we're going to be talking all about how we're going to tie this into a tichel. So I feel like the most obvious place to start is just to tie it into a giant triangle. So you can see the pointy bit is coming all the way down, all the way down to my bottom there, because it's huge, absolutely huge. You may even want to fold it into two triangles to shrink it down, but then it'll be very thick. The other thing I didn't mention is the material is kind of a really kind of dense cotton, a little bit reminiscent of denim even. It's not, but it sort of has that kind of rough feel to it. But the beautiful colors and pattern to it is just amazing and very classic. You know, I've seen so many different versions of this around, and I kind of regret not wearing this on my SNS video, because look how perfect it is to these colors of my nails as well. So really excited to do this tutorial. I don't have anything else like this shawl, but I'm still looking forward to coming up with some looks and experimenting with you lovelies. So what I've done first is just wanting to bring this forward a little bit. I don't have any non-slip headbands or any shapewear or anything like that on today. I just don't think it's necessary. This material is pretty controllable. I do have my hair really high up, and I've done my usual where I've tied a high ponytail, put a scarf around it, braided it, and then turned it into a bun. So I do have a pretty thick, natural, if you like, bun there. So just to start with, I'm going to crisscross the two long sides behind. One way to do it is to actually just crisscross it like this. It's a little bit more messy, but it's also a little bit easier to keep track of what's going on. One way to crisscross it is to actually find the two corners there and crisscross it behind your back, and then kind of bringing it up there. This is probably the easiest way to do it because it's such a lot of fabric that it might be a little bit hard to keep track of. Tell me in the comments, what do you do to manage a larger scarf? Because I'd be really keen to know what other tricks there are out there for this sort of thing. Okay, I'm going to take the underneath piece, so the piece of fabric that's running closest to my neck. I'm going to start by bringing it up and making sure that I'm showing the right part of the fabric that I want, and also making sure that these tassels and things like that are laying down as I want them to. Okay. Just going to do the same thing with the other one and tying them down at the nape. You can of course leave it just hanging if you wanted to, but I'm going to bring up this beautiful tail. I'm going to do it by twisting it at the back first and then bringing it up like that. And then there should be plenty of crisscrossy bits here to tuck it away under. I'm actually going to use this front bit. Talk about a crown. It's just so amazing how much height and volume you get. It's so cool. I mean, of course you can sit all day and tuck away these tassels, but I kind of like them. They add a bit of a flavor and a bit of a flair to the overall look. So I'm loving this. And you can just see enough pattern through the front to really bring out all these vibrant colors, and you get a really beautiful look at the back as well. So pretty. Another way we can do this gorgeous scarf justice is to pop it down back to front. So I'm just going to bring down the triangle towards the front here, so it comes down all the way past my belly button as I sit. This bit here sits right on the nape. So I'm going to bring these two long bits forward and give them a bit of a crisscross. Now, because we're working with a lot of fabric, don't be shy with it. Give it a really decent tug And I'm probably going to give it a tie down the back here. There's actually enough fabric to come back up again as well. So with this front bit, normally when I do this sort of style with a smaller scarf, I'm just going to give it a twist here, because that will allow me to have a bit more control and really show off the fabric. But the worry here is that you will get a lot of height. So if you don't want the height, perhaps leave the twist out or don't use such a big scarf. I'm going to tuck away this tail here. And I'm just going to take a second to really fix up all the bits and pieces. Okay, so I guess the challenge now with this look is to even it up, because it's going to be one side heavy, as we did tuck away just now more to one side. It's also going to be very voluminous, which is great for the winter time, and I guess this is a kind of Russian looking scarf, so it makes sense. But to me, for my taste, I don't really want this much height at the top and then nothing at the back. So two ways to go about this look then. One is to have a bun at the back, or the volumizer at the back if you have volumizing. Or the other thing is to, when you bring up these bits, that's while making sure that the tassels are on the inside. Really, really holding it down. And when we tie it off, we're actually going to kind of flatten things. I'm going to tuck away here on this side now to even things out, and then just make sure that those tassels go where they're supposed to. It just gets such a crown from this beautiful large scarf. Definitely a winter look, which I do realize that most of you guys out there are not going to be needing a winter look for a while, but I am in Melbourne here and it is almost freezing. So which is a little bit unusual for us. It's a lot colder than what we're used to for so early in the year. So I'm going to enjoy my warm scarf. This next one's going to be a little bit complicated to follow, so see if I can explain it nicely. So I've got that same upside down triangle going. The scarf ends on the nape of my neck. This time though, we're going to have the crisscrossing happening underneath. I've gone ahead and flipped everything over, but this time I'm going to take this closest to my forehead bit and give it a bit of a twist. This is going to not only create a beautiful feature to the scarf, it's also going to control tassels. The other thing I want to make sure of is that this triangle bit that's supposed to hang through the middle is quite loose. So just tying it off. Now there are two options here for tying. You can most certainly just tie it at the nape and call it a day. I've actually just got it crisscrossed, and what I'm going to try and do is very smoothly, if I can manage it, I'm going to bring this up, bring this one up, and right behind this beautiful twist, tie the knot on the top of my head, on the crown. Do it in any way possible, in that you're going to get as much control over the tassels as you can. How cool is that? And I'm actually really keen to leave this bit here at the back hanging because it is so pretty. If you did want to in fact tuck it away, you could. So just gather it as nicely as you'd like, or as you can, and then give it a bit of a twist into itself. There'll be plenty of spots where it can be tucked away and hold on, because we did tie things off there. So you get this kind of really cool kind of rock star look out of it. The other amazing thing that this beautiful scarf can definitely do is be in quarters. You still get a lot of pattern and a lot of color this way, and it's very much the same on the reverse, which is a really cool trick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tassel bit and put it down on the nape. Then I'm going to fold the tassels in underneath, so that when I bring it up, I've actually got a nice smooth thick line going all the way around circumference. Now obviously this is a very thick scarf and a lot of material, so you've got to be really in control of what you're doing, otherwise you might end up with a little bit of a messy situation. So from this point, I'm going to try and leave these loose bits out. I'm going to try and tie it down. Now you don't have that much length anymore because we're only working with a quarter this time. So once that's tied down, I had to go a little bit higher because we don't have that much fabric to work with on the circumference, but I do have this beautiful crown for me. So it's quite the situation. So I'm gathering all this fabric, I'm making sure that everything's as neat as it can be so far. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and arrange it in such a way that we can end up with a nice, neat and pretty result. So I've just given it a twist so I have more control, and I'm going to tuck that tail into the tie there. And then with these bits, I'm just going to try and gather them and, just arrange them until they're pretty as well. If I was to be going to the snow or something, this would be just the absolute perfect tichel. It's really warm, it's really thick, it's really large and bright and gorgeous, and so much nicer than just wearing a beanie. Just love it. The other look I'm really excited to show you guys is one that I've worn a couple of times already with slightly different fabrics, but all I've done is I've just twisted it at the back, and all I'm going to do is just create like a sort of, I don't know, maybe like a cape, and bring everything up. And when you bring everything up, you can sort of wrap it around and then tie it off at the back, and then just go out on the street looking like this. There's a lot of tucking to do with this sort of style because you don't have much control over how much fabric you have or anything like that, but you also do get really fun looks with it because it is different every time, depending on what scarf you're in and all that sort of thing. It's really just fun to just let the fabric do all the talking. For example, with this look that I've got with this go at it, you get this gorgeous twist that came out of it, really, really, really pretty. You've got this beautiful bouquet of flowers sitting right at the top. It's actually really comfortable, not heavy at all. I can feel that there could be a little bit more tucking to do, but overall, really, really happy with the look, and you can easily always give it a tighten because the bits that come out are the bits that control. So that's really, really convenient as well, because if it moves throughout the day, or because it is a larger tichel, if you've bumped it in the car or things like that, it's a really good one that you can just give it a bit of a tug and you're back in business. What do you think, my lovelies? Definitely not the regular go-to scarf, absolutely not. It is definitely more work, it's definitely more fabric, and it's definitely thick and warm and heavy, so more of a winter cold climate scarf, yes, and it's definitely extra work, so perhaps not the beginner scarf at all. I've just seen them so many times now. I've had a few people come in at work wearing them as shawls, and I've seen some similar patterns in headscarves throughout, and so I thought, of course, we have to go down that path and see if this is even a viable option. And honestly, I think it is, especially if you are in a cooler climate, or you're going into winter because you're in a strange country called Australia, or anything like that. And sometimes you just get cold. Sometimes you just do need a warmer tichel time to time. So I thought it was just a really great thing to throw out there to include in the collection. I definitely will be wearing this as a shawl. Absolutely. Maybe pairing it with a beautiful purple scarf or a red scarf just for a pop of color against, like, say, a black and blue outfit like today. There's so many options. Those options are limitless. And I just love something that's very versatile and very fun in the collection. Something that you will always have there as a classic piece that can really do so many things for you. I definitely hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. I just wanted to do something a little bit different, just feeling a bit creative today. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you also occasionally wear a warmer or thicker or larger fabric just for something different. For more daily things and activities and looks and all that kind of fun stuff, please head over to Instagram. Go ahead and give this video a like, and if you haven't subscribed already, then, my friend, please do. I'd love to have you back here, and I'd love for you to come along every time I post up a video, which is usually midweek and weekend. Please stay safe out there, stay positive, and stay beautiful, and I hope to see you on the next one.